I gotta be a little bit honest with you, okay? I saw a nature site and I turned down the road to head towards the nature site. Now, that is my natural inclination, okay? If I see nature and I have just a spare moment, I want to go explore it. And so I get here, and it's the bayou. And I've been to a bunch of different bayous in Mississippi, in Louisiana, but this is the first time I've ever been to one in Arkansas. And I'm excited to experience it. Can't see much, but I'm excited to see what's here. And my friends, I step out of the car and I start journeying down the way. And then all of a sudden I feel like I get shot in the back of my leg. And I look down and there's a freaking hornet stinging me in the back of my leg. Now, my natural inclination is to run, to swipe it off and hop in the car and book it down the road because I don't like flying things. I had a video planned for this place, but that hornet just threw it all out the window because I don't like flying things and flying things don't like me, and a sting is just the warning I need to get out of this place if this isn't where God wants me. And as I'm contemplating in that moment, I'm thinking about all the signs that I got along the way. About the fact that the road to this place turned into gravel, which is always a questionable thing. And that road was about 3 times longer than I thought it would be. And there were multiple times on that journey that I was this close to turning around, certain that there was nothing at the end of the road that I actually wanted to see. And then when I got here and I pulled to the parking kind of area, even though there really is no parking area, I couldn't see anything, just trees and gravel/mud. There were all these signs, and then I step out of the car and I get stung, and I'm processing all of this as I'm swatting this hornet off, and I'm moving towards the car to exit. And then something told me in my spirit, truthfully, stop. And my friends, I'm glad I did, because the hornet went away and I was able to walk down the hill and experience some of the beauty that is this bayou, this ecosystem of nature, of life, and it's so peaceful. You know what? I can't hear anything here except for nature. We're so far removed from everything else that I can't hear cars, I can't hear planes. All I hear is the rustling of the wind and the trees and the bugs and their sound and the birds and the gentle movement of water. And as I'm thinking about it, we don't get to these places very often, do we? Because we let the obstacles that stand in our way stop us from ever reaching this point. And those obstacles, we think of as obstacles, and we think of them as signs that, hey, God is not leading me in this direction. God is telling me to turn around on this road. That's not what I thought it would be. God is telling me with the warning of a hornet, beware. But my friends, what if all of that is just noise? What if it's just distraction in the same way that we experience it in the world? In the same way that we're journeyed and we're focused on this walk of faith, and then a jeans ad with half-naked Sydney Sweeney pops up on your phone. What if these things are just distractions? And what if God wasn't warning me about what was to come? What if God was warning me that I was too distracted to fully embrace what was to come? My friends, we gotta stop telling ourselves that we can embrace beauty without adversity, that we can encounter something truly special without having to overcome a couple hurdles along the way. We let distractions stop us, but God is consistently and religiously telling us to stay the course, to go where God leads us, to do the hard work. And if we say that God tugged on my spirit and told me to turn down this road and head towards nature, head towards the bayou, we don't get to excuse our decision to turn around halfway. We just don't. We either heed the call of God or we rely on ourselves. And I can't tell you how many times in the past I would have ran away kicking and screaming. Can't tell you how many times in the past I would have turned the car on and bolted out of this place. But today, I didn't. And that means something. In the grand scheme of this walk of faith, it means something to stand when everything in your spirit is telling you to run. It means something to surrender to the call of God when you'd much rather cower in fear. And I don't know, friends, if it's all worth it, but right here, right now, It certainly feels like it is. So maybe it's time that you ask yourself the question, what are you missing by quitting too soon? What are you missing by letting the stings of this life distract you from the path you've been called to walk? And what would happen if you stopped running and started standing? I don't know, but I have a feeling that you do. Thanks for tuning in.
These are your talks, Tatum. This is the hope of God set free. These are your talks, Tatum.